Hello and welcome to my podcast, Live Life Golden. I am Goldyn Duffy and I am super excited to be here today and to present to you all of the things that can make your life more golden, that can help you to position yourself in a place where you become a creator, where you stop living your life by default and you stop allowing life to have its way with you. There's a lot of that going on, and we can take our power back. We can step back into our power and we can take a position in life where we start to decide. We make decisions that are based on what we are looking to create, on what is wanted. We've never been taught to talk about what we want. We've always been in a society that focuses on the problems. And when we focus on the problem, we can't find the solution because the problem and the solution have different energies. So we're going to talk about vibration. We're going to talk about energy. We're going to talk about frequency. And I'm going to teach you about all those things if you don't know about them already. And if you do know about them already, they're going to be great reminders to wake up that part of yourself, because often we fall back to sleep or we forget. So they're going to be great reminders for you to tune back into that part of yourself where you are your most powerful and you get to decide how your life is created. So I named this episode "How to Get Out of Your Bad Mood, Dude." And I have to just give you a little backstory on the podcast because it's been very interesting. I have always created things with partners. For the longest time, I've always had partners, and that's really served me, I think, in my journey. But I believe this is the time for me to be independent and do something on my own. However, I will be inviting my family members, and I will definitely have some really interesting guests on because I love people and I love connecting with super interesting people, and especially my family members, because I feel like they are all super inspiring and all have something to add value to the show. So let's see. Last week, I actually am in a new forum, a new podcasting forum that I've never used before. So I have recorded this show already twice. One time the record button, I thought I hit it, but apparently I didn't. And that was an hour-long show that never got recorded. And then the second time I did it, my microphone wasn't on, which is hilarious because my microphone is always on. I never turn it off, and I always check to make sure it's on. So that was the second show that I did that never got out in the world. So I have to look at those things. I had to look at those things and say, okay, why is this happening? Why, when I'm ready to launch something on my own and step into my big girl pants, like why is this not flowing for me? So yesterday I did some meditating on it. I was in a super angry mood yesterday, like super pissed off all day, and can't relate it to hormones or anything, but had to go within and find out, like, why am I mad? Why am I mad at myself? Why am I mad at the world? And the answers that came were very interesting. You know, the fact that I have in my power, when I'm really in my power and I'm really in my confidence, I know what I have to offer for people. And I know that the information and the energetic transition that I give is super valuable. I know that. And that's not a brag or from my ego. That's from God above. I mean, I just know that I have gifts and talents to share with people. And I don't feel like I have ever had the confidence to like really step into it. There's been moments for sure in my life. I mean, I've spoken in front of many groups of people and even spoken in front of 4,000 people at one time. So there's been moments where I've stepped into this power, but then there's things that pull me back that make me feel like I'm not good enough or I'm unworthy, or those are things that we will go through in the show. And I will help you to flush that out as I flush it out myself, because I am human. And that's why I posted, if you're not in my Facebook group, you definitely want to be. It's Live Life Golden. On Facebook, I posted in there yesterday just to share what I was going through, because I think it's really valuable when we become vulnerable with one another and share the struggles that we're going through. People often can look at these social media performances and believe that people have these perfect lives, these perfect existences, and it can make us feel less than. So it's really important for us to just get real, not to like focus on our crap, definitely not, because that will just keep us tuned into that frequency. But there is value in releasing it. There is value in getting support from a community. And that is one of the reasons why I wanted to start the Facebook page, Live Life Golden, was so that we do have a community of support. So please, if you're not in there, get in there. And if you are in there, share what's going on and let us know, because I am one of the greatest shifters of all time. I can help you shift what you're experiencing and put it in a framework so that you can start working on the solution and get out of the problem. So super cool. So I want to go over a couple of things today just to get the basics of the law of attraction down. If you've never heard of it, a lot of people think it's like dating, right? Like attraction, law of attraction. Many people think that it's like against religion, or it's new age, or it's not spiritual. And the truth is, when I discovered the law of attraction, it definitely took me away from my spirituality for a little while. I was actually in a Catholic church, super immersed in a Catholic church, did a lot of work in the Catholic church for many, many years. It was a huge part of my spiritual development. It's where I found my voice. It's where I found my channel. It's where I started doing guided meditations for people. It was a beautiful time in our life. Like, we raised our family there. We had incredible friends, and it was something that I cherished. But when I discovered universal law, my brain, my body, my soul, everything started to go over to science. And I think that I needed that to start to get a balance of both, of how to manipulate energy, of how to create from energy, and how to step out of this feeling. And you may not agree with me on this, and that's totally okay. And I would definitely advise that if I say something that you don't agree with, that's not part of your belief systems, that you're not attracted to, just leave it. Like, this is really just about information that resonates with your soul. So, don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I mean? If you are in a state, and this is where I was in the Catholic Church, where I felt like, there were so many days that I was like begging God, begging God, please save me. Please help me to be a better mother. Please help me to not drink alcohol. Please help me to not swear, like whatever it was, right? Help me to not eat chocolate during Lent, whatever it was. So it became a very powerless position. And that was how I felt. And I do feel like unworthiness is a huge epidemic in our world. And I think that's why there's a lot of addiction and a lot of overspending and a lot of things that we're paying attention to that really are not that important. So I had to step out of victim mentality. And in order for me to step out of victim mentality and feel like, God was just playing puppet with my life, I had to distance. And I distanced for a while, and then I started asking, like, where am I in this? Where is my spirituality in this? Like, how do I get really deep? And that's when I discovered meditation. And meditation has been, I don't even like to call it meditation, because there's so much connotation with meditation, just like the word God. There's so much. I'll say God, universe, source. Like, I go all over the gambit here because I want to cover everyone's base, and I want everyone to feel the comfort of whatever you call infinite energy, whatever that means to you. But when it comes to meditation, I would rather that we refer to it as a quieting the mind practice. And when you understand that it's a practice, you're going to get better at it over time. And it's not even like, am I good at it or am I bad at it? It's really just, am I getting to that space? Am I feeling that energy? Am I releasing all the resistance around my life so that I can put myself in receiving mode? That's what meditation is. It's putting yourself in receiving mode. It's allowing yourself to let go of all the things that are bothering you, and to let go of the mind, which is always looking for problems. Your mind is always looking for problems, always looking for a reason to feel dissatisfied, because the mind likes to work on things, and the mind likes to keep you safe, and the mind likes to keep you the same. So when you start branching out and doing something cray-cray like meditation or quieting your mind's going to kick up, and it's going to try to regain control of you and tell you why this doesn't work, and tell you why you're not cut out for this. And so the quieting of the mind practice takes practice, but I promise you, within 7 days, you're going to be like, wow, this is amazing if you can commit to it. I run a group on Facebook. It's actually, I think, a private group now, no, public group. called the M21 Revolution. Anyone can join M21 Revolution. I run that with a partner, Jessica Mkowski. She is a triathlete. She is a coach, and she is phenomenal. She teaches yogic philosophies, super into universal law. We're definitely in the same speed. We teach the same thing, but in different words. So some people resonate with her and some resonate with me. We've run that group for 2.5 years. So we've got hundreds of videos, guided meditations, emotional release work, lots of conversation about universal law. You could probably search any subject in that group and you would find it and find out what our philosophies are on it and how to overcome certain challenges in your life. So that is amazing. And it is free, which is so cool. We did it subscription based for a long time. And then we decided to release the subscription because it was just feeling too constrictive. And now we just run challenges. So there's hundreds of challenges in there. We would do 21-day challenges to help you become a meditator or help you to deepen your meditation practice. And now we just run challenges. The last one we ran was a 28-day manifestation challenge, and that was really cool. And we just let our inspiration roll, and it's super fun, and it's a great community, another community that I absolutely adore, because people feel very supported in there. So I suggest that also is on Facebook if you want to find that on Facebook. So little backstory on how we got started in this universal law. My husband and I, so I'm married to an amazing man. We've been together for 32 years, married for 28 or 34. No, it's 34 years. We just figured that out the other day. Man, do you lose track as you get older? We've been together for 34, married for 28. We have 4 incredible daughters. So inspiring, ranging from 28, 27, 19, and 17. And they have taught us a lot, and they are incredible teachers themselves. They are all doing amazing things with their lives, and they will show up on the show, whether they want to or not, but they definitely want to. There's no doubt. One of them may not want to, but we'll see. We'll see. You just never know. So we have these 4 amazing daughters. We have one incredible granddaughter. If you have never become a grandparent yet, I can tell you it is the best thing ever, is what I call it. My Kinsley Jane, she's 3, and she is my heart. My husband and I just, I call it the cleanest. I'm like tearing up about it, just talking about it. It's the cleanest love on the planet. There's no expectation. We adore one another. Our energy is so clean and it's so beautiful. And it's something that I literally thank God for every single day. So she may even pop in here sometime. You never know. She likes the camera. She likes performing. So we'll see. All right. So how we came to the law of attraction was kind of interesting. In 2008, crazy. So my husband and I had, our 4 children. He had gone to carpentry school when he was after high school and started working as a carpenter, and then tapped out in that field. So he built his own business, and he did really, really well. I mean, he's an incredible builder. He is incredible at relationships, and he built, a $3 million business, and he was doing amazing. And the energy was flowing, and we were really in the thick of teenagers and toddlers and buying a home and just, all those things that life is just amazing at flowing energy for you. We were super active in our church, and we had a really, really, really happy life. Stressful, yes, absolutely. So 2008 comes, 2009, and his business literally tanks overnight. And it's like one of those things where we kind of saw it coming, but you're in denial. So you're holding on and you're holding on, you're holding on. And all of a sudden you're just like, okay, we can't hold on anymore. So once that tanked, we went through every financial challenge you could absolutely imagine: bankruptcy, home foreclosure, cars repossessed out of our driveway. We had 2 of those taken, just not being able to pay our electric bill, our electricity shut off, just everything that makes you feel like you have no air in your lungs. Maybe you've been there before. Maybe you haven't, but it's a real interesting experience. And it's one that I am truly grateful for, because it gives me so much compassion for people who are going through that. And it also gives me a lot to say about the subject, to offer hope to people and to offer light to them and say, you know what, this is part of your story. And on the other side of this is a lot of abundance and joy. So through that whole process, we actually found a network marketing company and we started building a network marketing business just for the sake of doing something, to have some hope, to have something, feeling like we were building something for our future. It was something that I could do because I'm really good at networking, really good at connecting with people. And through the process of that, the network marketing company is called Send Out Cards. Actually, they've gone through some changes. I don't even think they're called that anymore, but it's an amazing product. It's online. You build a greeting card. You can send a gift as well. You hit the send button, they print it and mail it for you. And at the time, it was like less than $1 to do that. And when I looked at it, I thought, oh, I can send Christmas cards. I don't send cards. I'm not a card sender. It made me one of the best card senders. And I found that gratitude and appreciation was the most incredible shift you can do for your life experience. When you wake up every day and you think, who do I love? Who do I appreciate? And then you send that out, you get it back. And that's the idea of law of attraction. What you send out is what you get back. So that CEO, his name is Cody Bateman, just, totally transformed our lives, totally helped us to transform our lives. We worked very hard at that business. We excelled. It helped me step into my power. That's when I started speaking. I mean, I was a stay-at-home mom at that time for like 18 years. So coming out of that, just not knowing who I was, it gave me an identity. So it was incredible. But as we started to study the law of attraction and we started to realize that the story that we were telling was activating what was happening in our lives. And we were stuck in our financial struggle because we were talking about that all the time. And a lot of people resonated with that, especially at that time. They loved to hear our struggle. They loved to hear how Send Out Cards saved our lives. So that was like, 5 or 6 years that we went through that. And then through the course of working with some energy healers and through the course of being in this company, we started seeing different places in the country. We started traveling more. We started opening up our eyes to different things. At this time, we're living in Connecticut, born and raised in Connecticut, never ever thought I would leave Connecticut. So we start thinking, you know what, going west might be good. We had a lot of friends out west. We were actually thinking Vegas, and we really wanted to be in the warmth. We wanted to be near our friends. Our company was in Utah. We wanted to be out closer to them. So we started considering that. And then we took a trip to Vegas in like February one year. And we started to think, we're not desert people. We're just not desert people. I love the desert. There's a lot of beautiful things about it, but after living in Connecticut and being surrounded by greens and mountains and all that wonderful stuff, it was too much of a leap. It was too much of a transition. So then we started thinking about other things. We started working with some different people, energy healing work. We started doing some healing work. We started really asking ourselves, like, what do we really want in our lives? And California came up. And California, for me, something I just realized like recently has been on my mind, my heart since I was very, very small. And when we discovered that, it was like I lit up. And Michael was not totally on board at first. And and this is a really good tip if you have a spouse or a partner who's not totally on board with what you want, is not to push them, is not to like think you have to convince them. It's not. The only thing you have to do is just know what you want in your mind, visualize it, spend time with it. I would listen to lots of meditations on the oceans, on the ocean waves. I would see myself here. I have feelings standing outside of my house now that I had when I was in Connecticut, like standing outside of the house that I live now. It's almost like that, kind of like that psychic connection where I just felt like I knew what it felt like. And now I do it and stand in the sunshine and go, wow, we did it. Like we did it. We totally did it. Took a couple years for sure. And I would love to help you guys speed up your manifestation time because I understand now how energy works. And I've watched energy transform and shift in my different manifestation times. And so I definitely know how to do it faster. I know how to like, jump timelines, as they say. I'm not going to get into that right now because that's deep stuff. But anyways, basics, I'll get into basics. So fast forward, we make a solid decision that we're going to move. and we did some crazy stuff. So our house is in foreclosure. Okay. Our house was in foreclosure. This is like, I'm just going to let it all out. I'm just going to let you guys know everything about me. If you've never followed me before, you're going to know everything probably on this show that is necessary for why I can speak to what I speak to. So our house is in foreclosure. It had been in foreclosure for 5 years. We did a refi. We did a modification, a loan modification, and we had bought in the time of the subprime. So our mortgage was insane. We had 2 mortgages that were super high interest. So we loan modified and then we defaulted again because we still were not making money because we were living in that struggle and we were trying to make money doing network marketing exclusively. And anyone who's trying to do network marketing exclusively before they're ready for that, before it's, enough to pay their bills, there's a lot of desperate energy and it really kept us stuck in a place that was not pretty for I believe way too long. So, or maybe it was perfect. It was perfect. Of course it was perfect because it's the way it happened. So once we decided that, we were talking about it and it's winter, it's like February, and we're just like, and I knew at that point that I had to be happy. I had to get really happy living where I was in order to be in California because I knew I had been here twice. I knew that California was a super high vibe. And I knew in order to get there, I had to get myself out of the misery of winter, out of the misery of living in Connecticut. So I would like sing and dance while I was shoveling snow, which, mind you, very interestingly, your physical body always responds to how you're feeling. I would have no soreness whenever I would sing and dance and have a good old time shoveling snow. The next day, my back wouldn't hurt me. That was one thing that I thought was incredible when I realized that. So that February, we get a notice from the bank that basically says, they're going in. Like, this is it. We're going to foreclose. We're getting ready for the sale, blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking at this notice, and this was a fear that we had for 5 years. We lived in that house with that fear that they were just going to come and take the house. We would have people drive by taking pictures. I mean, it was not the greatest way to live, but I had made a solid decision. We both had made the solid decision that they would not take the house, that we would give it back to them when we were ready to do that. So that was like a very clear decision that we had made with the universe, and we had put it out there. And despite any fear that came into our minds, we would counterbalance it. We would counteract it. We would interrupt it with, this house isn't going until I'm ready to give it back. So once I got that notice, I was like, why are we waiting? That was my question to Michael was, why are we waiting? Why are we waiting for the bank to determine our fate? And I think we do this a lot in life. We wait and we wait in a lot of misery, in a lot of holding on to things that are not working. And we sit there waiting, thinking something magical is going to happen. And sometimes magical things happen. I mean, I'm a huge believer of miracles, but I also know that it takes action, that it takes a little bit of action, that it takes a step forward on our part, that it takes a leap of faith on our part to show God, universe, source, that we're ready, that we mean business, that we're going to do this. So once we had this decision, this was probably one of the scariest conversations we ever had, because he was pretty much calling me out on my stuff. Like I keep saying, I'm going, we're going, this is happening. And he said, why don't we just book plane tickets? Why don't we just set a date? Like, let's just set a date. We will sell everything we own and we will fly there with the clothes in our suitcase. And that night we booked plane tickets, and it was when the girls got out of school. So they were in 6th grade and 8th grade. So we booked plane tickets and started selling everything we owned. And also what we did was we set a very clear intention for how much money we wanted to have when we left. And I will tell you, we had never at that point been able to save money because of the financial situations, because when we were making all of that money, we were spending it as fast as we were making it because we had never had that kind of money. So it was really fun. And our mortgage was really expensive and we have a lot of kids. So we made this very clear intention, and Michael got these jobs that came out of nowhere that paid him really well. We sold things for more money than we imagined. Like, people were offering us more money than we were asking for certain things. And those next couple of months went really crazy and really cool. In the meantime, I had to go to the court to explain, listen, we need just a couple more months because we're leaving, but we need a couple more months to get out. So could you just let us stay? And I will never forget going to the courthouse and the judge looking at me and saying, ma'am, there is no sale date on this house. Like, literally, it was exactly what we had decided. And even, in fact, we left and they didn't even come and do anything with the house for like another 6 months. So it's crazy. And it's off of our credit report now and stuff too, which is amazing. That's another story, rebuilding your credit. Anyways, so we got on the plane. We said goodbye to our house. It was intense. It was one of the most intense things we ever did. When I say terrified, we've got 2 cats that we're like giving Valium to make sure they can get through this plane ride. We've got 2 kids that are, adolescents. Whoa. We have one daughter that's already in Arizona. She had already moved to Arizona. And then one daughter we were leaving in Connecticut, which just felt horrible. Our oldest daughter that we loved. Oh, gosh. Love all of my kids. It's really, really hard to leave your children, for sure. So when we get to California, we actually had manifested a house for 10 days because the only person we knew here I had reconnected with, and she said she was going to Hawaii for 10 days. So we got to the airport, we picked up her car, drove home, same day. So her car's there. We bring her car home. My car is being shipped in the meantime. And we watch her dog for 10 days and try to find a place to live. Ended up in like a hotel for like 2 weeks and found the most perfect town for us to live in and to bring our girls up in. So there's a lot of details in that. There's a lot of miracles in that. If you really want a lot of the details of how that kind of transpired and the incredible miracles and things that happened, you can read my book, Quantum Speak, on Amazon, or if you go to livelifegolden.com, you can also purchase it there. But that is the story, and it breaks down exactly how energy works and how to manifest your dreams. And it's just a really good like how-to book. And it's also a good storybook, and it's on the shorter side, so people find it easy to read. So that's Quantum Speak. I also have Quantum Speak for Parents out. I'll just plug that as well, which is along the same lines of universal law and how to apply energy to your parenting and how to create the best energy you can with your family. So to create this peaceful, wonderful family life for yourself, Quantum Speak for Parents, also on Amazon and my website. All right, so I'm going to give you a little lesson today once I get over my story. I feel like I need to just tell that story because it's such an important story to where we are now. And there was huge financial struggles that came with moving to California. We had $20,000 that went so fast because we had to buy bedrooms. We had and we put a lot of things on credit cards, thank God, because that helped me build my credit back up. But we had to put a house back together. We had to buy saran wrap. We had to buy silverware, dishes, glasses, towels, bathroom rugs. I mean, we had to put a whole house together. For a while, we lived with, I remember our coffee table was a box and our living room furniture was beach chairs. I mean, there was a lot of things. The only stuff we had was what I could bring in my car. So there was a lot of financial stuff that happened during that time that really woke us up to our power and helped us to realize that our financial circumstances did not define us, that we were able to step back into abundance every time we decided that our bank account balance was not who we were, that our bank account balance was not in charge of how we felt. And that was huge because there were times that we would wake up in the morning and our balance would be negative. And I got to the point where I started laughing at it and I'm like, this is telling me that I'm like negative in the universe. And like, there's nothing further from the truth. I was doing a lot of healing work with people. I was doing a lot of coaching at that point. And I was like, this does not define me. And so that's how we started to shift into abundance. And we went to the ocean a lot. We went to sunset a lot because the sunset just always assures you that there's another day. The Pacific Ocean has a very peaceful feeling, so it would reground us and help us to feel like we were going to be okay. We bonded together as a couple, and I'm sure that we're going to do a show on that. We never turned against one another. We had a very solid decision that we came too far to fail. So, like that 1 month when we didn't have any rent to pay, which was frightening, they were going to evict us in 10 days. Like, we came together like two warriors and created it. We totally created it. And that's a really cool story for another day. So, when it comes to law of attraction, if you have never heard of it or you have heard of it, I just want to remind you a little bit of what quantum physics says and what the science of it says, and helping you to really integrate this into your life. So, we have different thoughts, right? Like these 60,000 thoughts a day, right? And underneath those thoughts evoke feelings, right? And then the feelings are what connects with our beliefs, right? So whatever we believe about it, whatever we believe about ourselves, whatever we believe about other people, all of this shit, all of it is rooted in past experience. All of it is rooted in mostly in what people have told us or what we have experienced because of what people have told us, right? So because of that, a lot of us are operating from like this 5-year-old mentality, like these 5-year-old belief systems, these things that we have created cyclical natures in our life, generational natures in our life. Like my mom was this way, my dad was this way, my grandpa was this way. Money doesn't grow on trees, all the different things that you grew up with. Money's hard to come by. People who have money are evil. I mean, these were some of the things that I grew up with. So it's really hard for us to channel into abundance when we have these belief systems that go against it. Or it's really hard for us to channel into our greatness, channel into success, channel into our greatest power and who we are and being creators when we are told that we're powerless against the government, that we're powerless against what's going on in our country. I mean, it's really, really challenging to live in a state of resistance to what's happening and be a real creator. Be a creator, be someone who decides for yourself what your day is going to look like, what it's going to feel like, what you're going to believe. So when we break down and we get down to those belief systems, a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. That's all it is. Most people, have this idea that belief systems are like, this is what I believe. This is who I am. This is who I've always been. How the heck do you expect me to change, right? But the truth is that we are pliable. We're like clay. And because of our spiritual natures, because we have this infinite energy that is coming through us that wants to be expressed, we are always growing. We are always growing. We are always expanding. And if we are not growing and expanding and we're feeling very stuck, it's just because we're in resistance to what's happening. And we're in resistance to the belief system that we do have control and that we can take that control back anytime we decide to. Now you have momentum going. So whatever is going on in your life, it definitely takes a little bit of time, but that time can be very, very short if you follow the guidelines that I give you. So when it comes to quantum physics, what you're thinking, right, goes out. It goes out into the world as a wave, right? So we've got these waves of energy that are going out. And the reason why you know this and the reason why you can feel this is you can feel it with other people. And right now, I have to say, with the mask thing, it's a little tough. It's really a little tough to feel people's energy. Without that whole face, without that whole magnetic field of energy being expressed, it's a little more challenging to be in people's fields and feel the way they feel. So you got to go on your own experience and overcoming feeling that, being constricted is allowing yourself to be really conscious, really aware of what's going on in your mind. So as you have these thoughts, and then the thoughts evoke the feelings, and then the beliefs, those waves actually go down and they start to break into particles. And as they break down into particles, they actually become a physical manifestation. That's why every single one of our thoughts don't manifest. Thank God. We've got that time gap of of pushing the wave, of creating the wave, of staying with the wave. Most of us would be super wealthy, abundant, happy, joyful, and have these incredible lives if we could really get a handle on that process. If we could really get a handle and heal those wounds that are underneath, heal those belief systems that no longer serve us, and really start to become curious. Like, what's going on inside of me? Why do I feel this way? Who does this come from? And does this really belong to me? Is a great question. So that mindfulness practice, that quieting your mind practice, is what will start to clarify a lot of things for you. So I challenge you today to sign up. Sign up for a meditation practice. If you want to do it through M21, you can just look up challenge day 1, challenge day 2, and it will walk you through a meditation challenge. There's also a files section of how to meditate. I'm going to do a brief little relaxation exercise in this real quick, just to like show you that you can relax for a second. So I challenge you for the next 21 days, right? They say that's what it takes to make a habit, probably just because they got people to believe that. But maybe it's 21 days to fall in love with it. I don't know. I fell in love with it pretty instantly. When I saw within 3 or 4 days how different I was as a mother doing this, I decided that it was definitely for me. And it's been a 15-year process. I started this when my youngest was like 2. And there's very, very few days that go by that I don't spend time quieting my mind and just sitting in that, what they call in quantum physics, it's zero state awareness. And it's where everything is created from. So as you quiet your mind, as you release thought, same thing happens when you sleep. Same exact thing happens when you sleep. So as you clear your mind and you clear the slate, then you actually change your frequency. And what frequency is basically is like, if you could think about a radio dial. So you're tuning into a certain station. So if you're irritated, if you're frustrated, you're tuning into that station. So all the things around you are going to give you reasons to feel that way. People and experiences, and you're going to feel more irritated and more frustrated. And that's actually what this show is titled about. And I'm going to explain that to you. So if you're in a frequency, one of the highest frequencies, which is appreciation and love and joy, then you're going to have really cool experiences, lighthearted experiences. You're not going to feel so serious. Things are going to be funnier. Things are going to go a little smoother, and you're going to feel good. You're going to feel happy. And I've got lots of different ways that you can tune yourself into that frequency. So this is how you get out of a bad mood. And yesterday I did not get out of the bad mood. Yesterday was like, let's just be in the bad mood. I think we really, really screw ourselves when we believe that we should never be in a bad mood, when we believe that negative emotion is bad. And that comes from our childhood of being told not to cry, or I'll give you something to cry about, or we got in trouble for being mad, or we got in trouble for lashing out. And the truth is, our emotional field includes these things for a reason. Our negative emotions are to show us where we really are at on things, like what we need to heal. They're the window into our healing. So as we, as we come into this mood, and let's see, I'm trying to think if there was anything that actually like spawned that mood. I think it was a compilation of the last couple of days of things just not working out when I wanted to get things done and I wanted to get them out and I wanted to feel like I was, moving and grooving and I can do this. I think it was, kind of a big pile of that, big pile of trash. And yesterday, I felt very pressured to figure it all out. And whenever you come from pressure or desperation, the energy is not going to cooperate. It's like resistance, and it's just going to push against you. So I just started to let things go. I meditated. I have this acupuncture mat that I really love from Amazon. Oh my God, I love this thing. And I laid on that for a little while. And, I'm fortunate that I don't have this like 9-to-5 job that I have to go to. But this is important to me. Doing this is really important to me. So it felt like I was letting myself down and that I was letting other people down because I had really committed to doing this and it wasn't working. So then as the day progressed, I got madder and madder. I was mad at myself. I was mad at one of my kids. I was mad at somebody at the grocery store. I was mad about the mask. There was so many things, and my attitude was so poor. And so I just kind of went into this quiet mode and did some things around the house and just really stewed. I just stewed, stirred my stew, just sat in that stew. Posted on Facebook. That did make me feel a little bit better to just say, hey, today sucks. And my belief has always been like, no day needs to suck. You don't need to have a whole day of suck. Like a moment is a moment. And it's, if you can get out of that moment, the faster you can interrupt and get out of that moment and get into a different moment. If I had gone outside, if I had gone to the ocean, if I had gone for a walk in nature, most likely I would have gotten out of it a little easier. But yesterday I was in a mode, and I'm sure you can relate, where I just wanted to be there. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to stay in that feeling. I also wanted to investigate it. I wanted to know where the foundation of it was and what it was for me. So, so I went to sleep and, watch TV, like literally just like watch something funny on TV, just let myself be, didn't try to do anything else because nothing was working. And then was excited to go to bed. I was excited to go to bed because I know that when we sleep, we release thought, we release everything, and we wake up. And when I woke up in the morning, it would have been so freaking easy to pick back up on that. So easy, right? Because we have momentum, because we've got this crazy ass roller coaster in our head that we board every day, and we let it decide where we're going to go and what our thoughts are going to be. So I got out of bed. I was super tired this morning and really sore. I've been working out really hard, so I was really sore. And I didn't let any of those thoughts grab me. I just got up and I got ready. And I have a gym partner, and he's texting me about how dead he is. I'm so dead. And I'm working on him. I'm working on his story. Okay. So through working on his story, I worked on my story. And I just said, you're not dead. You're okay. You have life in you. You can get stronger. This is weakness leaving your body. You can show up. And I walked into the gym, and through the whole ride to the gym, I'm doing this. And I had a funny radio station on, so it was making me laugh, right? So I know I'm in the right frequency. I'm at least I'm tuning that dial way better than I did yesterday, right? Or way different. I don't know. Is it better? It feels better. So I walk into the gym, and I just make this decision as I'm walking in the gym that this is it. Like, this is the moment. Like, this is the moment I have to decide how the rest of my day is going to go. So I walk into the gym, and a couple of my friends are there. The gym is like one of my most favorite places. Like, next to my house, my gym is like everything to me right now. It has gotten me through the last year of my life in the most positive, uplifting way, and created a body and a mind that I am super excited about. So there's an energy there, right? There's an energy there. So I walked in and I saw a couple of my friends, and I just said, let's look alive, people. I just yelled, and I was like, let's go. And a couple of them had already worked out, and they were laying on the floor, and they looked at me and they're like, okay, so you're in a good mood today. And I was like, yes, I am. And I said to one of my really good friends, I said, I'm just faking it until I make it right now. Like, I wasn't totally feeling it, but I was convincing myself. I was interrupting every single thought that went against it. And my workout partner comes in. He is dragging ass. And through a lot of the workout, he just wasn't feeling it. And I'm still in it. I'm still in it to win it. I don't care. I'm not dropping my vibration for him. I'm not dropping my vibration for anyone. We do that a lot with people. We exchange energy with them. Somebody's in a pissed off mood, and we let them trigger us, and we meet them there. Or somebody's energy is really low, and we're like, oh yeah, I don't really feel that good either. No, we can rise above that, and we can make a difference. In fact, at one point in the workout, he was standing in front of me, and I was on the bike, and he was like taking my fan, there's a fan on the bike. So he's standing there, and I'm like, I'm going to go get some sage. Like, I was joking around. I'm going to go get some sage and sage your ass because I can't with you anymore. And I was like, that's it. I'm cleansing your aura. right? So I started like doing this, and then I started like shooting. This may be a little weird for some people, but I just started feeling some light, just like sending some light from my heart. And literally I could see the shift. I could see the shift. And by the end of our workout, he was in such a much better mood. And I said, "You're welcome." And he does this for me too. But just to know that we have control of that. And then I got home today and I just felt like this excitement, and I just meditated right away. And I was like, you know what? This is working today. This is all working today, and this is going to feel good. And I pre-paved it in my mind, which to pre-pave is when you see something already happened, you see something already working out for you, and you feel into the energy of it. So you basically pave the energy for things to work out for you. You can do this with anything. They call it segment intending. So you just kind of intend what's going to happen next, and you see it how you want to see it. And it may not come out exactly like that, but you have tuned the frequency to it. So it's going to be very similar, and it's going to have a similar energy, and you're going to knock it out of the park. That is a great way to get ahead of things. So here I am. So let's free ourselves from these bad moods. Let's decide that when a bad mood starts to enter, when something starts to enter your mind, when a thought starts to enter your mind, in order for you to gain control over that, you first of all have to have awareness of your thoughts. And in order to really, really gain a mastery of your thoughts, a quieting your mind practice is essential. It's essential. And if you tell me, post in my group, post under this video that you absolutely can't do it, I'll fight you on it. I will fight you on it, because there hasn't been one single person I've ever met, and I've done this for hundreds of people, that I couldn't help get into a meditative state. So we're going to do that in just a minute. I'm going to help you to do that. But to free yourself from that mood is to recognize that thought and ask yourself, do I need to be thinking about this right now? Because so often we're thinking about shit that doesn't matter, right? Like, we're thinking about things that haven't happened yet. They're things that we don't want to happen, which means we're going to start creating them if we start thinking about that way. Or we're thinking about the past things that we have no control over because they already happened, right? Regret is like the stupidest thing we could ever do. Or we're thinking about people and situations that are just undesirable. They're unsatisfactory. They're creating problems, and they're not in this present moment. We're making them part of our present moment. We're allowing our present moment to be ruined by them for no good reason at all, other than we have a habit and we have control over all of it. So in order to break those thoughts, you got to know you're having them. And then you got to tell yourself, you got to ask yourself, do I want more of this? Because you are absolutely going to get more of it as you fine tune that dial into irritation or frustration. Now, you may think like, my feelings are my feelings. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do with my feelings? My feelings are my feelings, right? I've heard that many times. I believe that many times. I'm starting to realize maybe not. Your feelings a lot of times are just an addiction to emotions. They're just an addiction to an old person. They're an addiction to a survival mechanism that you put together when you were 5 years old. So these are things that we've got to pick apart. We got to pull them apart. We got to release those layers, and we got to start healing from within. And this is a really, really important concept to understand. The law of attraction, universal law, is not what happens to you. It's not what comes to you. Everybody thinks it's like, oh, I'm a magnet and I'm making these things happen. Sometimes shit just happens. And a lot of times these things happen to show you where you're at. And your reaction is actually what determines your point of attraction, your response. So if you've got a moment and you take a moment and you breathe and you have a different response than your angry reaction or your triggered reaction, you're going to be in your power. And then you're going to be able to decide what happens next. And that next moment is what's going to create. And that's a beautiful thing. All right. So we're just going to take a couple seconds. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. And we're going to breathe. All right. So I want to invite you to close your eyes. The best thing you can do in a meditation practice is not lay down because you're going to sleep if you lay down. I like to put a pillow behind my back just to kind of keep myself up straight, but also to be comfortable. So let's grab a pillow and I'll show you. So you just grab a pillow, put it behind your back, sit in a comfy chair, but not too comfy. An office chair is good. Just to like, not to like, if you're slouching at all, you're going down, I'm like the type of person that I just go down because we're all sleep deprived. All right. So you're going to just sit there, keep your back straight, and just take a nice, long, slow, deep breath through your nose. We all take way too shallow breaths. And because we take shallow breaths, we're actually in a different part of our chakra system. And it's like we're in survival mode all the time. And that's why we have anxiety. And that's why our heart races. And that's why we think we have no control over anything. So just take a long, slow, deep breath with me. And then let it out. And do it again. And when you let it out, just let your shoulders drop. So you're going to let your shoulders just really drop, like let them relax. And take another deep breath. And just think about the top of your head. And just imagine or think about the top of your head and your eyebrows and just feel if there's any tension there. And if you feel any tension, just take another deep breath and breathe out. And imagine that tension is leaving with every exhale. And just do a little scan of your body, going down the back of your head and the back of your neck. And whenever you feel tension, just take a deep breath. And just say, thank you, tension. You can leave now. And then pay attention to the front of your face and take a deep breath. And relax your jaw. We hold a lot of tension in our jaw. And then bring that energy. Just imagine it's this light-filled energy and it's filled with peace and harmony and goodness and relaxation and ease and abundance, the abundance of your being. So just let that energy, all right, maybe don't think about abundance. Maybe you're not ready for that yet. I just got that. So just think about relaxing. There's nothing to do except let go. So then let that light come down the front of your face and down your throat and just release any tension in your throat. And let it run all the way across your shoulders and the top of your back. Breathing out any tension there. Bringing that light down your arms and your hands. Imagining that all of that energy is just coming out. Woo! And releasing. And then bring that energy into your heart. Feel that beautiful light in your heart, all that beautiful love. There's so much love in your heart. A love for people, love for self, that love that God has for you. It's so intense, it's so unconditional, and it's so infinite. So feeling that light in your heart should give you a big burst of energy. And then bring that light down into your abdomen, down below your belly button. These are your power centers, your emotional fields. We just ask for the light to balance, relax, release, accept, create wholeness, create happiness. Just activate that power of who you are. And then bringing that light into your tailbone. That's your root. Just connecting you to the earth, connecting you to the universe, connecting you to that abundance that is your birthright. Connecting you to all that is, to the trust and faith you have that the universe has your back, that you are here for a very important purpose, and that this light-filled energy will only serve you in the most highest potential. And then just bring all that light into your legs and all the way down into your calves and your feet. And we're just going to take a moment here and feel all this light-filled energy. And this light-filled energy comes 3 or 4 feet all the way around your body. You can imagine it like a warm blanket of worthiness, a warm blanket of love. And just let yourself be still for a moment. And if you feel the thoughts come, you can just breathe them out. Just exhale. And imagine your mind just this beautiful blank slate, maybe a chalkboard that you need to erase. And feel this beautiful energy that we have of zero state awareness. It's who we truly are. We are everything. We are the infinite energy of all that is. We are their expression of this beautiful universe. And there. And now we've shifted the energy. And now we can create from this beautiful energy. And you can do that at any time, anywhere, except for when you're driving. Actually, I can clear my mind pretty good when I'm driving. My eyes are open and just be in the moment and look at the trees and pay attention to what I'm doing and just be present. That's the secret to life. When you're really, truly present, there's no judgment, there's no beliefs, there's no feelings. You're just in it. You're just here. You're just present with people. And that is really where joy is created from. So thank you for letting me share with you my story, my show. This is episode 1. Who knows how many are coming? You just never know as the inspiration hits. Join my group, Live Life Goldyn. Please subscribe. I'm on YouTube as well. That's where the video portion of this will be, podcast and YouTube. And friend me on Facebook, Goldyn Duffy with a Y. And Live Life Goldyn is my page, and M21 Revolution is my meditation community. So be well, love well, feel the peace that you are, and know that what you focus on expands. Peace.